President Trump just boarded Air Force One, which is heading to Davos, a resort town in Switzerland, for the World Economic Forum that just happened about 60 seconds ago. One of the biggest topics at the forum, of course, is global warming, but that comes with a huge helping of irony dripping all over it. The climate cognoscenti of Davos are arriving in more than 1,000 private jets. How could that be? Joe Romm is the founding editor of Climate Progress, and he joins us tonight. Joe, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, Ted.
So, I mean, it's one of those stories I couldn't resist. It seems to me if you really believe that global warming is an existential threat to humanity, life on Earth, you probably wouldn't be flying around in a private plane, would you?
Well, I'm glad we're in agreement that climate change is an existential threat to humanity. And
well, I'm not sure that it is, but the people at Davos are sure of it, so why are they flying in these planes?
Well, if you want to put things in context, all of the air travel for everybody going into Davos equals about 1 second of total annual global emissions. Well,
I guess it depends how you look at it. Here's another way to look at it. Look, I'm not suggesting people don't travel because of global warming, but so if you fly in a private plane for 10 hours, you're using 3,264 liters of fuel. If you fly commercial, you're using 346 liters of fuel. So it's 10x.
Yeah.
How is that justifiable if you believe that global warming is real and a present danger?
Well, do you believe that global warming is real and a present danger?
Well,
because if you don't, what's the point of discussing
this? I don't know,
this?
but I'll tell you why. Here's exactly the point. Because the people who are flying into Davos make the policies that the rest of us live under. And those policies will have costs for ordinary people in the form of higher utility bills, for example. And it looks to me like the Davos elite are basically using the rest of us as a carbon offset. You pay more on your electricity bill every month, so I get to fly in a private plane to a Swiss ski resort. You can see why that would...
Well, I'm not a big fan of the elite. They are the biggest polluters, right? The richest people. They own the most stuff. So I certainly agree with you that everybody needs to do their fair share. But the most important thing is that the governments of the world take action, and at least the global elite in every single country, but maybe this one, is committed to reducing global emissions.
No, that's actually not true at all. Having traveled a lot around the world and seen countless tire fires in progress in downtowns around the world, I mean, actually, you can talk, and this is really my point, you can talk all you want about how global warming is a threat, but if you're letting tire fires burn in the middle of your city and you're flying in a private plane to Switzerland using 2.5 years worth of the gas a normal person would use in a car, like, you're not real. You don't mean it. This isn't serious. It's fake.
Well, I would say you're not serious when you're the United States, and Donald Trump is the only world leader who has said we're not going to join the rest of the world in reducing pollution. I mean, you understand that in 200 nations in Paris back on December 15th, December 2015, said climate change is something we're going to have strong action about, and I'm a big fan of that. But only the United States said no.
It was fake, and it would have allowed the two biggest, yes, it was, the two biggest polluters, China and India, to keep polluting, indeed increase their emissions levels for years to come. So I know this is, and you're ratifying my suspicion, which this is about punishing America. Why won't you just look into the camera and say any global leader flying into Davos in a G5 ought to be ashamed?
Well, I think anybody who is flying a private plane should be ashamed, yes. I don't have a problem saying that, but I will also say the President of the United States, the second biggest emitter, the richest country in the world, should be ashamed that unlike every other rich country in the world, we're the only ones who pulled out.
Are you madder at the U.S. or China, which is a much bigger polluter than the United States?
I would say right now I'm about equally mad, but
even though China is, of course, uninhabitable in its capital city because of pollution, but somehow you're equal to the United States. Yeah, that's real pollution. It kills people.
Right, but we put in place regulations which Donald Trump is trying to undo to deal with our air pollution.
Oh, our air pollution and Beijing's are pretty similar, would you say?
No, we've had regulations because Democrats and, you know, the Nixon administration and progressives, George W. Bush, put in acid rain pollution regulations, which, as you know...
Look, I'm not against that. I'm just saying...
Well, it sounds like you are.
Be consistent. Hold people accountable for their actual sins, not just their fake rhetorical sins. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I'm very much in favor of holding people accountable.
Good.
So what we should do is have a price on carbon pollution, and then everybody would be held equally accountable.
Rich people would love it. Joe, thank you.
Thank you so much.